And we're back. Alright, so when last we left off, we had just made our way to the bottom of Lake Hylia. And there's pretty much nothing down here except for this one enemy, so we're gonna go and investigate that. Oh, he's blowing on the hawk grass. Ooh, it looks like we got ourselves a mini boss fight here. Also, I know that there was having trouble with the game slowing down when we got into Hyrule Field. However, it appears that oh, deal with it. Yep. It looks like there's a fix for it, so I've enabled that. So hopefully, when we get back into Hyrule Field, it should be a lot more stable. Oh, it looks like we're getting airlifted up the river. So we need to go to the Spirit Spring, but obviously the water level is so low we can't get up to that area. So the idea is that I guess we're going to travel up to the water source and figure out why there isn't any water, and hopefully rectify the situation. Oh, they're using their bomb arrows to knock over these pillars. And they've got all of this like wood scaffolding built like through this I guess this is like a riverbed, although it's a bit deep. It's kind of like a canyon, I guess. Ooh. There we go. That looks like the end. Upper Zora's River. It's getting cold. I mean, what are those Zoras up to anyway? Rivers run totally dry, right? I can't work like this. Ugh. Cold. Ah, I missed my fur coat. Oh, okay. Doesn't look like we can... Yeah, we can't cross here. So we'll just have to jump down. Ice.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Oh, hey, what's going on here? Thought it was getting colder, but who would have thought that this would all be frozen? It looks like Zora's River, the domain, has entirely frozen over, which is why the water is stopped. Come on. Come on, bat. There we go. So now we've got a jumping segment. Ooh. Nope. Ah. Mistimed it. Alright. This time, this is gonna be the one. Alright. Woo! Bam! Go kill this one that's over by itself first. Perfecto. Bon appetit. A portal's open here too. We can finally warp. If you want a breath of, if you want to breathe the air of the world of light for a moment, let me know. I'll take you there. Look at all of that down there. All the Zoras are frozen in ice. So now we have to find some way that we can melt the ice here in Zora's domain, like when we teleported that bridge. Luckily, I have an idea. Mr. Krabs, I have an idea. We'll go to the hottest place in Hyrule, Death Mountain. Oh, luckily it's nighttime, so we won't spook anyone. There's like bats and shit in town. Or no, I guess those are crows? You know, I watched an interesting video essay about this game recently that basically like doesn't care. Um that basically like equated this game to like an this game is basically meant to be Ocarina of Time 2. And like since I watched that, like now I see all the comparisons between it. Like I've played almost all of the Legend of Zelda games actually. Not really any of the uh how do we get up here? Can we... Okay, yeah. Alright, yeah. Midna can still show us how. Um... But, like, basically when they made this game, it was, like, meant to be Ocarina of Time 2, kinda. And, like, now I can't unsee it, really. Because, like, there's so many things that make this game similar to Ocarina of Time. Nope. Ta-da! Remember this big old piece of lava? This is technically a Zelda item. I'm gonna warp it all the way up to Zora's domain. These Gorons, like, are just like, I don't even know. I don't get paid enough to worry about that. But yeah, like, going forward, I see a lot of the comparisons, you know. And I don't know, it's kind of like a positive and a negative because, like, you know, Ocarina of Time was so iconic, like, for what it is, you know. It basically invented the open world RPG in a way. I mean, I know that, like, other games technically did it before, but Zelda did it in a way that made it an instant classic, you know. Bam. And you know how, like, in Ocarina of Time, right? Uh, oh, okay. It's like, you know, you play as young Link for a while, and, like, you do the first three dungeons, and you're like, cool, you know, job's done. We got all the stones. Like, you got the Ocarina of Time. You go in and like, you're gonna go and open up the Sacred Realm and keep Ganondorf from getting in there. And it's like, haha, you ain't even, like, halfway done. You still got, like, 8 more dungeons to do. Like, that kind of thing, you know? That was considered that was very much considered a surprise at the time because games didn't really have that kind of, like, length to them. It wasn't considered standard at the time. So, like, to have an adventure, like, of that scale, you know, and that quality was unheard of. Who knew that something so dangerous would come in handy? Alright, the Zoras are safe now, so let's go. The ice melted and restored the water flow to normal. Can we finally meet the spirit of Lake Hylia? Uh, I mean, I don't know if I'd say that they're okay. I mean, they're alive, I guess. I mean, I guess there isn't anything that we can do for them, but still. Alright, let's go. Wait. It's a ghost. Please, you must allow me to thank you for revitalizing both my people and the spring, which is the water source for all the lands of Hyrule. In life, I was the elder of this Zora village and the queen of my people. I was called Rutella. Not to be rude, but we didn't exactly do it for you guys. The Dark Ones, they raided this village, and as a message to my people, executed me before them. Young man, you who take the form of a proud beast, I have something to ask of you. When the Dark Ones descended upon our village, I sent my young one, Rallis, to Hyrule Castle to inform Princess Zelda of our fate. But I fear danger followed him from this doomed place. I feel it, his presence grows fainter to me over time. But my time in this world is past, and though I would give it gladly, I no longer have a life to risk in his rescue. Please, would you save my dearest, Prince Rallis? If you do this thing, I will bestow upon you the protection of water. This power will grant you the ability to swim and respire in very deep water, as if you were a Zora. Please, save my son. Okay, so we've been given, like an extra mission, which is to save Prince Ralis, but obviously we can't do that while we're still a wolf. So still same plan as before. Head into the spring, talk to the spirit, return to the world of light. Yep. So you can just like sort of jump in and let the water take you down to the main level. It's the water level's increased and it's much faster, so it's just a straight shot back down into the lake. And now we can get to the spirit spring. Oh, thankfully we washed up right in front. All right. I am the last of the spirits of light, consumed by twilight. Hero, chosen one of the gods, you have done well to make it this far. Gather my scattered tears of light that were stolen by Shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog. Gather them in this. Yep, Tears of Light, Vessel of Light. We know this. We know this shtick. We're good at this. I am sure you know by now the forms that these dark insects take when they steal our light. In this shadow realm of twilight, the insects are invisible, like the humans of this world. Collect my light. Lift the final cloud of twilight that threatens to cover all of Hyrule. Alright. We gotta collect the bugs again. Last time, I promise. It's the last time. Or is it? No, it is. It is. Yep. Yep, there it goes right there. And of course, they're on our map, like always. That's the part I don't like, is like that's what makes it like artificially slow, is like having to, you know, oh, having to like collect the slow moving tier of light like after you kill the bug. Like if you kill the bug, it should just immediately go into your inventory. That aspect of it makes it slower than it needs to be. I don't think they fixed that in the remaster they made for Wii U. Which, by the way, there's a Wii U version of this game that's like a remaster. I don't think they like actually fixed that. I think they just like lowered the number of insects that you have to collect. Because like the instances where there was like just two bugs in the same spot, like they could just cut that down to one. You see what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Hey, you. Come on. Yeah, like that. We also got to get up there. Oh, Minna's got something to tell us. If you blow that grass there, the bird that was here should come back. Maybe if you can't whistle it, you could just howl the same song. Oh, by the way, for anyone who didn't notice, the song that I can't get up there, the song that plays when you blow on the grass, on the hot grass, is for the Song of Soaring from Majora's Mask. So that's a neat little Easter egg. There's lots of like musical references in this game to past Zelda games, because obviously those games had all those songs that they made like you could play with instruments. So I guess like this one technically does too. Like a lot of those songs make a return, although they're really only used like for those whistling stones, howling stones, or whatever you want to call them. Okay. So now we have to go over to the right. We can't get up there. We can't get up there. Okay. What's that over there? That's all he's got to say. Come here, you. I think there's grass over here. Cause we have to go back up through the thing. So yep. So Big Bird comes to grab us, so we can just do the thing again. Although it is different now because the water is swept through, so now the layout's a little different. But there are some insects in there that we gotta get. Kind of sucks because if you miss them, then you have to you know, go back down and try again. I mean, I'm usually pretty good about it, so I think we'll be fine. But you just gotta dash into them. Now, see, yeah, you kill these ones and then you immediately get the here. Yeah, there we go. See? It's that easy. Doesn't look like there's any more in this area, so we'll just dash on ahead. Woo! We can go up here. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. And now we're back up here. It says there's a buggy over here. Oh, she don't like the bugs. We've all been there. Do the whistle stone over here. Oh, I need to. Did I catch that? I need to see that one more time. So bottom 1 2 1 3 2 3. 1 2 1 3 2 3. Oh, I need to see it again. 1 2 1 3 2 3. 1 2 1 3 2 3. Okay. There we go. Let teachings of old pass to you. Take sword in hand and find me. So he's out front in front of Haru Keto. Some Zoras hanging out over cheer. Think Prince Rallis passed through here? He must have. This is the only waterway that connects to Hyrule Castle. So that's to give us some information that like we can take that path to Hyrule Castle. So when we have to come back through, we'll have to head to Castle Town because there's some bugs down there too. But we should get the ones here in the domain first. Okay. Alright, so it says that there's some here in the middle. You have to stand on these lily pad things and... Nope. But I wonder if I can... Nope. Was one. I can just dip into the water like it's nothing. Bam. Alright, then we gotta make our way up to get those other ones. You may have won this time, crabs, but I'll be back. Shia Kazi. Well, this stinks. I can drop down here. Buzz off. Get it? Buzz off. Because it's a bug. A yellow rupee. I have to go back, and we have to go back over here. We got that one on the left and the one up top. This is one of those games. It's like I'm glad that they made a remaster of it, although it's stuck on Wii U, so you know, not terribly useful. since that's very much a dead console now. Um, but this is like the kind of game that could really benefit from like like a full-on remake, you know? I mean, lots of games can, but it's like I don't know. It's a give and a take, right? Like I like remakes, you know, because they make the game like it's a chance to get the game like as good as you remember it being, which is nice. Of course, usually only good games get remakes, which is not as nice because there are a lot of bad games that are like good premises that were just poorly done and could use a remake. Where does this go? Uh,
I have no memory of this place.
okay, well I can't do anything with that. I'm a big fan of Dead Space, so Dead Space getting its remake was definitely a big deal for me because that was a game that like again, you know, like great premise, but like time has not been well to Dead Space. Gosh, there's no way because that just takes you back out, doesn't it? Where does this go? Oh, brilliant. I guess we gotta jump back down again. But yeah, just the fact that like Nintendo basically, you know, cordons off like 90% of its library is just crazy to me. Like take the GameCube for instance, like lots of great games on the GameCube, you know, but it was an unpopular console. So a lot of those games are like just stuck on GameCube. Like Nintendo could make a GameCube emulator for Switch. Like they've already done it with the Nintendo 64. Although I think it's stupid to be charging extra money for it on top of your Switch Pass or whatever it's called. Um, but they could totally do like a GameCube emulator, uh, Virtual Boy. Like no one played the Virtual Boy, and it had like two good games on it. Wario's Woods, I think, and that like 3D Tetris game. And plus, like the Switch even has like VR capabilities built right in, like what they did with Nintendo Labo and stuff, and they never expanded on that. Besides, like toys, basically. Like Nintendo didn't make like a VR game to show off, like, hey, look, you could just like put this thing on your face, and it's suddenly a VR headset, you know? Like they didn't sell like an accessory or a strap or whatever that like lets you do that, which I think was dumb. Because that would have been a great way to get people in on VR. Because like you already bought the Switch, just buy this like $20 headpiece that you slide it into, and bam, it's suddenly a VR helmet. They could do that. But like they could totally also use it like to play Virtual Boy games, like in actual virtual reality, you know. And people would lose their shit over it. But I don't know. It's like Nintendo hates money, but like they also love money because like they're only willing to do the bad things for money, right? And I think that's the craziest part. All right, I gotta make our way back into Hyrule Castle Town. Yes, yes, yes. Scary trumpets. Yes. Um. Yeah. Also, them charging extra money like to play Nintendo 64 games is bullshit because like all those games are, you know, like so old at this point. Like you could play like Nintendo 64 games like on your phone probably. It's like them charging you extra just so you can play it on your Switch is dumb. It should just be a part of the thing, like with the NES and the SNES uh, emulator. It's even crazier now because they've been reverse engineering some of those old Nintendo 64 games. Like, they managed to totally decompile, I think both Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. Oh, another porthole. But yeah, it's crazy that they were able to decompile those games because, they're obviously beloved by fans. But like again, oh, time hasn't been great to them. I banged into the wall, and Nintendo doesn't really pay them much attention, even though they're considered like instant classics. I just don't know what their long-term strategy is. Like, Nintendo basically invented. I mean, they didn't invent video games, but they might as well have. Like, Nintendo is so ubiquitous. Like they're so, uh, you know, like even the name Nintendo is like household in the way that like if your mom doesn't know what your game system is called, like she just calls it the Nintendo. Like if you're playing Halo, even if you're playing like Halo on Xbox, she's like, "Hey, get off the Nintendo and go take out the trash or whatever." And that's crazy. I mean, it's probably not really like that anymore because like video games have become so. They went from being like a niche hobby thing to being very open. Smartphones did a lot for that, really. Like smartphones are bullshit. Like smartphone games are mostly bullshit, I think. But like they did get people they did get people who didn't play games before invested in games, and uh, you know, I can at least appreciate that, I guess. I don't know. It's weird living in this world. What's going on? There should be one more. Where could the last tier be? What? There it is. What's going on? This is weird. It is weird. Alright, we can just warp down to the lake, though. One left. Thunderbolt and lightning. Very, very frightening me. Something wicked. Huh? Uh, what is it? That's horrible. It's the big mama of all the bugs. So this boss fight sucks. Just gonna... Oh! Gonna tell you that right now. Don't get your expectations up. This one sucks. So... Alright. This one works as it comes down for like a tackle attack. Oh, keep getting hit. And then you gotta... Yeah, do this. And I don't like its udders. It's got udders. Yeah, okay, so you do the 3, and then it does this, and then you gotta do that, and attack all of its udders. And it's horrible. Like, this shit freaked me out when I first played this game. I was like, oh my god. All that for just the last light tier. Alright. The vessel of light is full of tears, and light has returned. My name is Lineru. Your efforts have at last restored each of us light spirits in Hyrule. O hero chosen by the gods, the dark power that you seek. It awaits in a temple set in the bed of Lake Hylia. But before seeking it, you must now bear witness to something, and never forget it. You must know that it was the will of the goddesses that we lock away the forbidden power. When all was chaos, the goddesses descended and gave order and life to the world. They granted power equally to all who dwelt in the light, and then returned to the heavens. The lands where the goddesses descended came to be known as the Sacred Realm. For ages, the people lived at ease, content in mind and body. But soon word of the Sacred Realm spread through Hyrule, and a great battle ensued. Among those living in the light, interlopers who excelled at magic appeared. Wielding powerful sorcery, they tried to establish dominion over the Sacred Realm. It was then that the goddesses ordered us 3 light spirits to intervene. We sealed away the great magic those individuals had mastered. You know this magic. It is the dark power you seek, the fused shadow. O hero, chosen by the goddesses, beware. Those who do not know the danger of wielding power will, before long, be ruled by it. Never forget that. The dark power that you seek is within the sleeping lake bed temple in Lake Hylia. It's gonna drop that bombshell. Okay, before we go any farther, I gotta take a pee break. All this running water has got me going pee pee. So I'll be right back. And we're back. All right. So what we learned from that very disturbing cutscene is obviously that in the past, some powerful interlopers attempted to uh, take the sacred realm for themselves. Ah, look at it. It's so beautiful. Attempted to steal the power of the sacred realm for themselves, and they got vibe checked by the light spirits. He said 3 light spirits, but I thought there was 4, like in addition to, uh, Ordana, the first one. I don't know. Maybe he's like the new kid on the block or something, like an intern. Um, that is the goat one. Uh, I keep hearing like this. I guess it's just part of the soundtrack. Like I swear I can hear something. Um, Look, it's a Zora. I'm a member of the Zora tribe, the proud people who care for Lake Hylia. The other Zoras are all on guard patrol at the bottom of the lake. So obviously we can't breathe underwater, so we can't get to the bottom of the lake. Hmm? Some of the Zoras are still alive down under there. I thought maybe they dried up along with the lake. Hey buddy, have you heard? There's like a temple or something at the bottom of this lake. To put on such airs with all their rituals and fancy temple hoo-ha, then they just disappear. And what's with them putting that temple so deep the humans can't swim there? I swear, those Zoras. Oh, are you a customer? Heh, you are one lucky fella. The height of excitement, the thrill of launching to the heavens, the very peak of flying fantastication. It can be yours, fella, for a limited time only, and without waiting in line. It's a paltry 10 rupees. What a deal! What do you say, buddy of mine? Want to give it a shot? I'll give it a shot. Welcome, fella, and right this way. Boom. And that's how you get out of the lake. Whoa! That reminds me of something. Didn't the Lake Queen and Zora's Domain ask you to do something? She asked us to find her son, the one who's been missing since he headed for Hyrule Castle. I think she said something about granting you some special power if you rescued him? The final piece of the few shadows on the bottom of Lake Hylia, then it looks like we're going to need that ability. Yeah, so we gotta find Prince Rallis. But we already know where he is. Because we saw him earlier. He was the Zora kid who was in the bar when we visited the bar as a wolf. Okay. Now we're back up in Hyrule Field. So far, so good. Yeah, but apparently the thing with the Hyrule Field slowdown, like, that's a known issue. But I got a fix for it. I would have just had it ready if I knew beforehand, but, you know, that's you know, that's on me. Like, you gotta research your stuff before you start. Alright, let's summon Eponia. Oh, no, we're going the wrong way. We need to go this way. We need to head back to Hyrule Castle Town. I saw a little stuttering loading in, but it seems to be fine now. Oh, that's right, we got a new sword skill to learn. I think this is the Helm Splitter. Stop shooting my horse. Epona's invincible, so we're good. What you got for me? Ooh, ow. We meet again. It appears your efforts have begun to return some vigor to Hyrule, but it is far too early to relax. Do you feel ready to earn another hidden skill to steel yourself from the forthcoming battles against more powerful foes? I do. Very well. But before we begin, I must test to ensure that you've mastered the last skill I taught you, the shield attack. Now come at me. Just wants us to prove that we can still do the shield attack, which we can. Excellent. It appears you are certainly capable of performing my lost art. Very well. My third hidden skill is the backslice. Let it be hewn into your mind. A mere shield attack is no match for an enemy protected not just by a shield, but by a thick, full-body coat of armor. Such enemies are often focused on guarding against frequent frontal attacks. They often leave their rear unprotected. That is when you L-target and press A while tilting left to right to jump and roll around your foe, then perform a jumping slice. This is the back slice. Now try it. You carry yourself well, but do not forget the proper timing for swinging your sword while you jump. The third hidden skill, the back slice, has been passed on. 4 hidden skills to learn. Do not neglect your daily sword training between now and the time you come to learn the next skill. May we meet again. Alright, gotta make our way into Castle Town, and this will be our first journey to Castle Town. As a human, at least. We got 2 letters. Let's read them. Bomb arrows. Alright, we already know about that. Good stuff inside. Finally, we finished production of a new type of bomb. These ones can be used even in the water. We have them in stock now. Come by and pick yours up. And from the Lineru Tourism Association, prepared a grand tour of natural splendor. Our current main attraction is Isa and Henna's Playground for grown-ups. You'll find both immediately down the riverbank from Zora Waterfall Pool. Okay, so these are just telling us about new businesses that are opening up because now the water's back. So we're gonna make our way into Castle Town. Obviously, we're going back to the bar. I probably already said it, but like, I do think that this is one of the best castle towns in any Zelda game. It's very detailed. There's lots of like people running around. Well, there really isn't much for us to do here right now. More stuff will open up as we move along, as we continue through the story. Things will start to open back up. That is a Zora child. This is beyond my expertise. Humph. Not even gonna try? Here. Doctor, wait. If something isn't done, this child will. What the fuck? She just left me on red. I just got ghosted. Well, this isn't good. A human doctor won't do, huh? That old coot reminded me, though. I've heard of a shaman in Kakariko Village, in the Elden Lands, who's tended Gorons and Zoras. Is that true? Perhaps if we take him there. Inadvisable. Too dangerous. But we can't turn a we can't turn a blind eye to a pretty girl in need, either. Yes, we'd better escort you. Am I right, boys? Well, isn't that nice? To reach Kakariko, we've got to cross 2 plains that are each infested by dangerous beasts. But we'll be safe now. Cowards, don't ever show your faces here again. Oh my. Looks like we've got 1 young swordsman left. Not only that, but it looks like this brave young man will escort us. So get ready to go, honey. Pronto. You know that girl, don't you? It's a real shame. She can't even remember her own name right now. Bless her heart. She found this poor boy collapsed in the road, so she did all she could to save him. More courage in that girl than all the soldiers of Hyrule, for sure. You lend your strength to her. You hear me? So we've just got recruited for a mission to help escort Rallis to Kakariko Village so he can be tended by Romano? The shaman. So you say the bridge to the east has been destroyed, huh? Then our only option is across the bridge to the west. You see what that means? You'll have to deal with that thing. Thank you so much for this. If you don't mind me asking, what's your name? Link? I will never in all my life forget your kindness, Link. Little lady, I think you'd best save your thanks until we're safe in Kakariko. The swordsman of ours has great eyes, honey. They're proud and wild, like a feral beast. We need a beast right now, to keep the true ones at bay. If we make it to Kakariko safely, we'll just sink him then, okay? Alright, so first thing we gotta do is deal with Chief Bulbin again. You ready to roll, Link? You've got to protect these young ones on their way to Kakariko. So the way this segment works is, you've got to defend the cart from monsters while they ride along. The reason I'm equipping the Gale Boomerang is because if Bulbins shoot the cart with their fire arrows, it's going to set it on fire, and then we'll have to put the fire out. He's got two big old shields around right now. That's his game this time. Whoa, okay. Okay, alright, okay. Need to shoot him a bit sooner, or later, rather. Oh, missed him. Oh, that's all we had to do. I don't remember him only taking 2 shots. Guess I shouldn't complain, though. Oh, need to go that fast. Oh. Ain't gotta really worry about shooting the Bulbins. Which is good because of my crappy shot. Alright. Gotta open up the gate. I don't know how they convinced those things to carry bombs. Yeah. Right, nearly there. Uh-oh. Dang it. This little maneuver is going to cost us 10 years. Alright, open up the gate. Here we go. He has passed through the worst of it. As long as he rests, he should recover in due time. Do you know the fate of his mother? Her welfare consumes him. He has been mumbling deliriously about her almost constantly. I can see the knowledge grieves you. It must be an awful memory. I'll stay with him until he's better, no matter how long it takes. Is that so? Thank you, Colin. Hey, Link. About Lilia? Is it true, what they said about her? Yes, she has lost her memory, Colin, and regaining it will be no simple task. But it will be alright, child. If we just give her some time, I'm certain that Ilia will find her heart again. So, Colin, I'd like to ask you to stay in this village until then. It is our turn to show the courage that you've already displayed. Nice to see there's still some hope here. It's always good to see happy results repay your efforts. Those skills of yours, any chance you're of the mind to put them to use for Hyrule? What hope there is in our kingdom is frail and dying, but there's still a group trying to do what it can. And I'm a member of that group. Call me Telma. I may just stay here a bit longer. I'm still worried about Ilia, and... well, never mind about the rest. Link, I want to see you again at my bar. You hear me? The bar is actually kind of a safe haven for my friends. There's a passageway that leads to the castle from in there as well. If you ever need anything, stop by. I'll be waiting for you, honey. She's a nice lady. The very nice lady. Spooky ghost. So we gotta follow her. we saved Prince Rallis, so obviously, uh, we've fulfilled her request to us, and as she's promised, she's going to give us the ability to swim in deep water, like a Zora. Ah, jeez. I see that the bitrate's dying again. Uh, just a second. Mm, it's a bit sketchy. Hold on, let me see if I can do anything about that. Okay, let's see if that helps at all. I am deeply grateful to you for aiding my son in his time of need. You were right to bring him here. Kakariko Village is a sacred place for the Zora people. It is where we take our eternal rest. My husband in life, King Zora, also rests his spirit here. It is no coincidence my son found his salvation in this place. That which I have promised you is within this grave. During his lifetime, my husband created garments specifically for the chosen hero. Garments that house the abilities of the Zora. Da, 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 da. Now at last I can join the king in slumber. And yet, my son, he still knows nothing of my death. If you see him again, please pass on this message. Tell him he must not grieve his mother's passing. Tell him she wanted him to be brave and live on as the king of our people. And tell him his mother loves him without end. Tell him. Alright, so we got the Zora armor. Alright, there's a few things we need to do first before we head to the temple. There's a few things that I gotta pick up, items that'll be helpful on our journey. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it looks like the bitrate is ironed out. That's good. First thing, I want to visit Mallow Mart. Doesn't look like he's got the... He's supposed to get a special item. I think, yeah, I don't think he gets it until we get a little bit farther in the game. We need to go to the bomb store. Because we need those underwater bombs. Well, first thing, gotta go over here. Yep. So this is how you get rid of your... Because you only have the one bomb bag starting out, but you know there's different kinds of bombs. So yeah, we'll just buy a whole 15. Might as well. You end up using a lot of these in the water temple, so just buy them all. Okay, let's see. So we've got water bombs. We have the Zora armor. Oh, there's a shortcut. The shortcut to Zora's domain. From right here in Kakariko, actually. If we go back to King Zora's grave, in that little pool, uh, in that pool of water, there's like a way back to Lake Hylia. So it's a convenient fast travel. We should also... Here we go. Grab some of the stuff that's here. Birds. Cha-ching! I think our limit is like 300 rupees with our current wallet. I mean, we really won't need much more than that, although it's nice to have. That's a blue rupee. It's worth 5 rupees. And we caught a male ant. Alright, we gotta switch into Zora gear. Now, you can't just wear the Zora gear all the time, though, because although it lets you breathe underwater, you also are not able to... you're more damaged by fire and ice attacks, which will become more common. Continue on. So, gotta use the boots to sink down. We'll get this one first, because there's also like rupees and stuff under here. Cha-ching! And we're already back in Lake Hylia. Alright, now we just gotta make our way down to the temple. We should have all the items we need, so we should be good. Now, as far as water temples go, this one actually isn't that bad, so we should be fine. Oh gosh, this is setting off my thalassophobia. I don't know if I'm like fully thalassophobic, although I do find the deep water to be utterly terrifying. Can you see the bubbles rising from the depths? It's dangerous to swim too close. The current is strong enough to carry away most people. Yeah, underwater is kind of terrifying for me, although this is fine because it's just a video game. Fine for me, at least. I know some people have, like, legitimate, issues with it. It's one of the reasons why I had a lot of trouble playing Subnautica. That game is utterly terrifying. Okay. And then we gotta throw the bomb. Bam. Temple acquired. I would say this probably is like my least favorite temple, Legend of Zelda, although I don't know if that's more just based on my like history with the game. Like this temple always gave me trouble. Oh, come on now. Sword attacks are much slower underwater. We don't have any way to hurt those jellyfish yet, so we just gotta swim past them. There we go. What is that, a poo? It's a chew. This is what chews look like in this game. They're just big old jelly Twinkies. You can get their chew jelly, but you need an empty bottle. We're gonna eat this bee larva. Yep. I want that chew jelly. Nope. Scoop it. There we go. Got more water bombs. Put the bombs back on the menu. Looks like bombs are back on the menu, boys. Ooh. Alright, let's get to it. These stalagmites you can shoot down with bomb arrows. Ooh. probably some more bombs in here. Like I said, we'll go through them a lot, but they actually put quite a few in the temple itself, so it ain't so bad. Alright, our first Lizalfos. We got this. Oh, wrong button. Alright. This is the main area here. So the big, like, the concept behind this dungeon is that there's a lot of, like, managing the flow of water and stuff. This is pretty much the only direction we can go right now, so that's what we're gonna do. Oh. Okay. Alright, can't go through here yet. Okay. Arrows. So pulling on these levers causes the staircase to move, which is how you'll eventually redirect the flow of water and such. Alright. We'll go through here. No. I guess we gotta go the other way. The other end. But it looks like that requires a key. So if we pull on this lever and then go down, this is a spot we couldn't access before because it was blocked off. Okay, this looks like it. Stalagmites or stalactites or whatever. Get rid of those. Okay, we weren't gonna be. We doesn't look like we're gonna be able to reach those. This should be a key. That's what we need. There we go. Alright, now we need to go back to the starting room now that we've got the first key. There's a lot of back and forth in this dungeon too. Mostly involving like raising and lowering the water level. You know how water temples be. Oh, this must have the map in it. Billy Billy almost ran off without it. Alright, then we gotta come up here. We need to go around to the other side. And look, it's our old pal, Uku. Phew, free at last. Gracious, you're that nice fellow who helped me out the other day. How nice to see you again. Well, now that we found each other again, let's stick together for a bit, hmm? I'll be right with you, so if you want to warp out, just let me know. Uku! Alright, unlock this door. Go through here. Fight these annoying hurdles. Hmm. Can't go through this way. Did that accomplish anything? Oh, that one did. Eh, eh, eh. Mission complete! Hey, you. There we go. Okay. Go in here. Alright. Now look who's smart. Look what being smart got you. A key. Yes. I don't know what that was. Why I did that. Yes, it is a key. Just as I have always wanted. Doesn't look like there's anything here really, except for this guy. Oh, he wasn't done. Gotta get back to the past, Samurai Jack. I miss Samurai Jack. Like, I'm glad that it got its ending, like, because they left the original series on, like, such a cliffhanger, you know? But at the same time, like, I feel disappointed with their very rushed conclusion that they came up with. For anyone who doesn't know, uh, Samurai Jack was this cartoon on Cartoon Network that was about a samurai named, well, his name wasn't Jack. Like, his name was actually never told. Like, everyone just called him Jack, who is destined to defeat this evil dark spirit named Aku. Uh, but in his fight against Aku, he gets sent into the like far future where Aku is the ruler of Earth. So Samurai Jack has to try to find a way back to his time so he can, defeat Aku and prevent this terrible future from happening. It's like a weird cyberpunk future, but like, ruled by an evil dark spirit. It's weird. That's cool though. I mean, I assume everyone's probably heard of it, but just in case you haven't. Anyway, it was on Cartoon Network for a while. It was, really beloved by fans, but like, it went on for a couple seasons, but it didn't get like its finale. So people were saying like, oh, we need to see how Samurai Jack's story ends. So uh, they eventually brought it back like for one final season on Adult Swim, which was Cartoon Network's adult programming block. And I don't know, it just felt rushed. I mean, I guess it's better than like never getting a conclusion, but at the same time, it's like they could have done a little better, you know. Although they were able, because it was on the adult programming block, they were able to handle some more mature themes, like with the story. Because obviously, Samurai Jack being on Cartoon Network, it had to be suitable for children. So, like, even though he's a samurai with a sword, like, he always fights robots, you know? Like, you can just cut up robots, like, however you want, and it's fine. There we go. Hey, we finally got some water in the water temple. Oh, there we go. Alright, now we gotta follow the current. Watch. Can I make it? Nope. Yes. Yes! No. That's okay, though. Oh, no. Yes. 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 The lizards. Why am I stuck? Come on, now. Come on, son. This is how you eat a Big Mac. Uh. Hey. We got the water in here moving, but we can't drop down just yet. We've also got to go and get the current moving in the correct direction before we move on. Right, so the water leads all the way back to the main room here. Alright. Okay. It doesn't look like we'll be able to set the water this way, though, quite yet. However, it did set those gears in motion below, so we'll go back through here. Okay. So now these platforms are moving, so we can catch a ride. Woo. piece of candy. Da 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 da. Oh, that's yellow chew. Oh, can we get it real quick? Yellow chew is tastier than red chew. Mmm, lemon flavored. I love lemon flavors. Refill your lantern. Oh, it's just oil. What? Well, that's fine, I guess. Feel a bit cheated though. What was I doing? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. We gotta go in here. Hmm. Nope, doesn't look like we can quite do anything here yet. All right. Quite obviously a mini boss arena. Zelda TP thinking it's slick. Like, oh, just a large circular room. All right, so we've got a key. Maybe over there? There we go. Okay, yeah, we'll need the key here. Is there anything over here that we should get? Doesn't look like it. I'm not sure what enemies these are supposed to be. Like, I never could quite figure... Like, I never bothered to look it up, either. These weird turtles. Okay. We go down here. His boots were made for walking. Hmm. Yes. Always check the jets. It's like those jets that, like, in a jacuzzi. Or, like, in a pool. Oh, there's another one. Another one. It's a red rupee. It's worth 20 rupees. Oh. Won't fit in my wallet. Yeah, that's another thing. If you find, like, a chest with rupees in it and your wallet can't hold it, then it just goes back in. I don't know how I feel about that. Whoa. This is one of those games where it's like Link has to carry this stuff around with him. So like, why is it the iron boots are only heavy when he wears them? You know. Weirdly enough, like the Zelda cartoon kind of fixed this problem because it showed that Link has like a bag of holding sort of thing. Oh, that makes the items like smaller and lighter while they're inside. But like, I don't think any of the games present any sort of explanation. Just video game logic, you know? Like, yeah, of course. Of course they would only be heavy while you wear them. That's how they work. Alright. Oh. Ew. Hmm. Doesn't seem to be much going on here. Oh my god. Oof. Oh, I don't like that. So I think the thing with this boss is that you... I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. No more babies. I think you can throw bombs in this boss's mouth. Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, otherwise this boss has, you know, a basically non-existent, like, moveset. Gross. What is it? What could it be? Da, 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 da. The claw shot. Alright. Okay. Excuse me. I had some lemon cake earlier today. I could taste it again. Yeah, it looks like the wallet caps out at 300. Okay, so now we gotta go back to the central room again, because now we can change the water direction. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do like the claw shots design for this game. Another thing you can do, just take the shells right off those things. Makes that a lot easier. Alright, now we want to go up here. Another thing, we can go up here too. There's a... I think this is a piece of heart. Yeah. Okay, so... Okay. Dive right into concrete. Now we gotta go around this way. Grab on the here. That'll let us redirect the water. Yeah! Okay, now we go through here. And now we can get past this water wheel. Alright, and we use that to get up here, and then we can make our way to the water source up here and get it started. It's another cricket thing. Man, that's cricket. I've been knowing cricket 20 years. What's his real name? Man, I don't even know. That shit's cricket. Oh. Bam. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Let's check this way real quick first. Hmm. See a treasure chest down there. I would like to get the compass just so we've got it. Nope. We paid $9 for this? I paid 10. How do I get back up there? Oh, there's vine on the wall. Okay. Nope. Get off the wall. Link always be jumping on them walls. No. Touching all the candy. Ooh. See y'all next year. also want to get back there. Come on. There we go. Do 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 do. There we go. All right. Whee! Okay. Oh, we also got to go into the middle and activate the thing. Oh, I meant to show you guys a thing. Hold on. There we go. So there are like evil fish down in the water. A skullfish. It's forbidden, so it won't be added to your fish journal. Hmm. That doesn't look like a skullfish. What's that over there? Fish on. It's a skullfish. Oh, I saw something. Oh, I think those are just green gills or whatever they're called. I ain't too worried about the fish. The fish is like an extra thing. Like if you want to, I think you can get like a heart piece for it. Like if you find like the big fish. No. Choo-choos. Oh yeah, choo-choos can combine too. And if you let like a red one combine with a purple one, it just becomes a purple one. I think this is the dead end. Ugh. Hoisted by my own petard. Mm. We'll go to the other way. we'll go through here. There we go. Now we're making some progress. What's this guy's deal? What's your deal? That didn't quite hit him, but I'll take it. More rupees. Money, 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 money. Alright, we got water from this one. So now we gotta redirect it again. And that brings up the water level to where we could get to the boss door, although we don't have the boss key yet. I'm working on it. So now there is water in here. Water level goes up, and that little bridge is now accessible. Oh. Oh. Ow. Hi, you little... Alright. Now, we get the thing. Okay. So now... Let's just actually just check the map and see where it says the key is. I think that should be it over there. So I guess we'll go back to the other side. I don't think we need to worry about redoing the water, because there's just like a pit over there, so the water doesn't like go anywhere. Or maybe we do, because... Oh yeah, maybe this has a thing. Yeah, we need the water. Even though it just goes into a pit. Okay. Bingo. I also like that you can like adjust the chain length. Yeah, this feels right. Oh boy, this guy again. Okay. So bomb fish. Anything over here? No. Woo. Woo. Hmm. Okay, I think I know what to do here. Bear with me here. Uh. Uh. Okay. I think, yeah, I think I see what to do here. Bam. Alright, now we can fight the boss. Now we can fight the boss. I thought there was a way to get out of here quickly, but I don't see one. Oh well. Yeah. Ooh. Uh. Alright. Now we just gotta get into the water. Oh, treasure. Hey gang, it's treasure. More money. Alright, let's fight us some boss. Oh, I do not like this boss fight because it's scary and underwater. Fantastic. More feel. Twilight Aquatic. So this guy, you gotta. Oh. Uh. Ow. Ah. I hate this boss. Okay, alright, okay. Ah, it's hard to evade those tentacles. No. Okay. Phase 2. Phase 2? I don't like how the eye always looks at the camera. It's like it knows. This part's pretty straightforward. You just kind of gotta catch up to him. There we go. Bam. More feel, more like, more dumb. There it is, the last fused shadow. I'll just take that, thanks. Now, don't resent me for all I've put you through. I need this thing. Besides, we have to do something about Zant, the one who thinks he's the king of the shadows. His power is a false one. I'll prove it using these. So, I've done everything I needed to. I'm sorry for dragging you all over the place with me. So, shall we go? Alright. Water Temple done. Yes, I would like to save. Actually, I haven't saved in a while. That's a good thing to do. This game doesn't have autosave, so if you screw up, you lose everything. We're back at the Spirit Spring. Nani? Yeah, but Lanayru got our back. Or not. Thant. Did you honestly mean to take an ancient and withered power like this and turn it against me? You are a foolish traitor, Midna. Why do you defy your king? My king? You, who do nothing but abuse the magic of your tribe? You must be joking. How dare you? Are you implying that my power is our old magic? Now that is a joke. This power is granted to me by my god. It is the magic of the King of Twilight, and you will respect it. Ugh. My Binna, did you forget? That beast is one of the Light Dwellers who oppressed our people. No matter how much you may desire otherwise, you will never be more than a shadow in their world. You cannot consort with their kind. But if we can make their worlds ours, Midna, light and darkness will meet at last. Our tribe will take back their realm, and sweet darkness will blot out this harsh light. And that, Midna, is why. I need you. Not just for me, but for all of our people. Lend me your power. So be it. I will return you to the light world you covet. thud. Link, hero chosen by the goddesses. Go to the princess locked away in the castle. That princess holds the key that can unlock you from your shadow form. Oof. Well, so things got a little heated there. We were confronted by Zant, the king of the self-proclaimed king of Twilight. Uh, actually, okay. But yeah, we accomplished a lot today. We did the water temple, but now we've got to go and see Princess Zelda. But I think I'll leave that up till next time. So, thank you again for listening and watching. And I hope you have a good night. Bye bye.